carbon dioxide emissions. In a new research commentary published on April the 3rd in Nature magazine, scientists pointed out that stabilization of CO2 levels in the atmosphere will require much more radical decarbonization efforts than are currently being undertaken. This is due in part to rising global energy demands, as well as a lower than expected rate of development for renewable energy technologies. To learn more about carbon dioxide, the main greenhouse gas whose levels are determining climate change, Supreme Master Television speaks with Dr. David Archer, Professor of Geophysical Sciences at the University of Chicago in the U.S.
What is the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air right now, and what was it before we noticed that there was a global warming going on?
The concentration in the year 1750, I mean, nobody could measure concentrations then, but we have bubbles of ancient air trapped in ice cores. So we can measure, we can know that at that time, before human activity, the concentration of carbon dioxide was about 280 parts per million. So out of 1 million molecules of air, 280 of them were carbon dioxide. Now we've gone all the way to 380. The ice core data that tells us about the value in 1750 or in the Ice Age now goes back 800,000 years, and the CO2 concentration today is much higher than it's ever been throughout that 800,000 year time period.
Based on Earth's history, scientists know that carbon dioxide accumulates in the atmosphere and in the ocean. Once accumulated, it takes an exceedingly long time for the Earth's climate to regain its equilibrium.
Is there a certain number, concentration level, that once we reach we'll see catastrophic events?
I personally think that we have already passed a danger limit. The amount of sea ice in the Arctic Ocean has been decreasing over the years, but then in 2007 it just crumbled. And the earthquake activity and the acceleration of the flowing ice in Greenland, I think these are signs that we are already in dangerous territory. So far the Earth has warmed about 0.7 degrees centigrade. And even if the CO2 concentration in the air were to stop rising today and just stay at 380 forever, the temperature of the Earth would continue to rise to about 1 degree centigrade. If we want to avoid warming more than 2 degrees centigrade, we have to freeze the emissions of carbon dioxide. So industry has to stop growing. It has to start going down, or else we will exceed a dangerous temperature change of 2 degrees C. 2 degrees C would be warmer than the Earth has been in millions of years.
It is becoming more evident that immediate action must take place to halt global warming. One of the quickest ways to take action is to stop our own consumption of meat, as meat production has been found to be one of the major emitters of harmful carbon emissions.
It's very clear that when you grow grain and then feed it to animals and then eat the animals, you lose 90% of the energy from the original grain. And so not only can you feed fewer people on the agriculture that you have, but as they discovered, it also requires a lot more fossil fuel energy to make that happen.
We thank Dr. Archer for the insights you have shared on carbon dioxide levels and how urgent the situation is that we face today. May wisdom guide us to make more rapid changes toward a plant-based diet and sustainable energies for the brighter future of our planet and all her inhabitants. Please tune in to Supreme Master Television's show Planet Earth, Our Loving Home, on Wednesday for the full interview with Dr. David Archer, Professor of Geophysical Sciences, to hear more about climate change and potent greenhouse gases that are creating it.